Hello, beautiful souls. Lori Rising here. Welcome to the Pisces Full Moon, a sweet spot that we are so here for. Yes, it's coming up this Saturday, September 10th, and it is all about the dreamy movement into our spiritual alignment, integration, and selves. Have you noticed a softening of your edges recently? Yeah, that's this beautiful energy coming through in this full moon. Pisces is the dreamy spaces. It's the ending to our astrological wheel, our zodiac wheel. So it's the place where we let go of what hasn't served us. It's the culmination of all of our shadow and light work that we've been doing throughout the full astrological year that's ultimately there to help us move deeper into our alignment spaces, into our evolutionary ascension, and into the integration of our cosmic light body self with our physical reality. Just kind of like the moon energy. We do this on a monthly basis, right? With the new moon, we plant seeds of intention and creation. And then with the full moon, we release what's not serving us, what isn't aligning in those spaces, and what's not working for where we're going in our trajectory and our journey and our unfolding path. So this is just kind of a bigger culmination of that energy. And we get to do it with the full moon in Pisces. So it's a really beautiful opportunity to fully let go of what isn't serving us anymore. The things that we're holding on to in resistance because of programming and conditioning or supposed to. So really check in with yourself right now. Are you feeling a tightness around what you're trying to make happen, force happen, right? And when you can fully release that, the outcome or the expectation, and let yourself move into this beautiful Piscean flow, right? Of like the waters, of the spiritual waters, the light waters that are coming in, can you be in a space of trust of what possibilities are around the corner, or what new energy can come in when you open yourself up in the spiral dimensions, in like our interdimensionality, instead of just this one-dimensional trajectory that we might be on. Something that I really want to point out here about the Pisces energy and what we have available right now for connecting deeply with our psychic powers, with our spaces of intuition and innate truth and knowingness, our intuitive hits, is color. I am debuting a new color, a new piece of clothing. Like the best case scenario for this energy is that we would all get fully naked out in the sun and like pull in the light codes with the opening of our cells as we release that resistance. Now, I know that's not always possible. So I invite you into really light colors over the next few days for this Piscean energy, because when we get into lighter colors, that actually opens us up for an energy exchange, right? So we can release energy and pull in new energy. When we wear darker colors, it actually closes our energy off and keeps us more contained. And sometimes that's a really important space to be in, especially in this matrix world. So if you can find a beautiful environment where you release into your full flow and surrender and vulnerability, I invite you to be in the lightest spaces possible. And that's like holistically on every level. Light in your mind, in your body, in your energy, light in your clothes, and in your reflection and your spaces of opening during this time. So that feels good. And I'm pretty excited. I'm feeling really, oh, we already got a jumper. I'm feeling really good in something new to like, I don't know, just even change the energy for myself as well. Now, if you've been feeling some physical symptoms lately, especially about 2 or 3 days ago, maybe you felt like you were getting under the weather or something, or like you caught a bug that was going around, we had an intense period of solar flares and light codes coming in. So remember that those can be ascension symptoms, right? Because our little bodies sometimes don't have full capacity to bring in all of the light. So that's where we do our daily alignment practices, and we continue to be curious about the shadow work, about the triggers that come up, about the reflective work and mirror work in our relationships and in our lives that we feel on a soul level. And instead of bypassing them or distracting ourselves from them, or, waiting until later, it's really important that we're continually moving in this space, because as we continue to get more and more well-versed in our shadow work and trauma transformation and like wound healing, especially through the lineage, the easier it becomes. Like when we practice anything in this life, we become masters of it while staying the eternal students, right? Because we are not finite, we are infinite, and we are constantly made to evolve and change. And that is probably the best mantra and like full belief system that we can ever have, is that we are infinite light beings that are made to change and grow and evolve in all parts of our experience here and in our light body experience eternally. So there's a lot going on right now, but first of all, before we get into the card read, hello, I want to introduce myself, especially if you are new to this page and this channel. My name is Lori Rising. I'm an intuitive medium, a trauma-informed healer, and an embodiment and ritual guide. So in these videos, I really move into the translation of the astrological energies so that we can be in our full embodiment for the integration of the energies. It's taking our cosmic imprint, the planetary energies of the daily life, and then integrating them through our experience, through our cellular coding and wisdom, and opening up to all of the beautiful ascension that's available in these spaces of our 3D world and our 5D and beyond light body activation, right? And so we also do an oracle read. So we pull in the energies from my guides and our guides for what can really support us with this journey that's unfolding right now in this, especially this Pisces full moon energy. And yeah, we just have some fun with it. So I hope that these messages are really supportive and helpful for you. If you would like to work deeper with me, I really help people drop so like beautifully into your psychic connection, your intuitive hits, your innate truth, the truth that has always been with you in your cells, that has been muted and suppressed and repressed by the programming and the conditioning and the cultural repression that we go through in our mindsets and belief systems, because we are such beautiful absorptive beings and everything is energy and we run on frequency. So when we're immersed in a certain frequency throughout our lives and throughout our lineage's lives, that all gets imprinted in our cells. Our body is this beautiful computer of a library of knowledge. It imprints every experience that has ever been known and ever was and will be. And so I'm really here as an embodiment guide that's trauma informed to help you transform and release that density from your cells in order to open up the ability to be in light and full energy as we heal and ascend and live the multidimensional lives that we were meant to be here in. So if you would like to work more with me, check out the links below. I have some beautiful retreats coming up, including one in a month in Berkeley, California with the incomparable intuitive astrologer Molly McCord. If you are ready for your life to change, for you to accelerate your integration of your cosmic imprint, your starlight self with your physical reality to magnetize a new life around you that you were meant to come here and create. Join us in October in Berkeley, California. I also have some other programs and offerings coming up. There is so much to choose from, so make sure that you check it out below. Please hit the subscribe button, the notification bell. Join our beautiful, sacred, intentional container here, because every one of you lifts this energy and frequency up as we move through this wild and raw human journey that we are all embarking upon together. So let's see what the cards have to say today. Like I said, there was already a jumper card. We have so much going on. Mercury is stationing retrograde tomorrow, September 9th. This is actually a really sweet retrograde, along with this sweet energy of the Pisces full moon. This is a beautiful integration time because we have been through it in the last month, if not couple of months. So savor this. Let yourself be soft. Let go of the edges that may have come with all of the shifts and changes and intensity that we have been moving through, because this is a nice, beautiful flow before we move into eclipse season very soon. And most planets are going to be in retrograde in the next couple of weeks. And so it gives us this beautiful time to just review, reset ourselves, let ourselves be almost at rest while we reorganize in order to move forward in really high frequency and vibration. So allow yourself that time and space to move through that in whatever way feels right to you, and enjoy the retrograde period. I feel like of course, it's in divine time. It's happening perfectly. So let yourself drop in and start with this Pisces energy. So you may be feeling a little bit scattered right now, and it's the Pisces energy along with the Mars and Gemini that's going to be happening for like a good 7 months. Gemini has so much inspiration, but it's also the twins. And so I like to describe Gemini as the grass is greener. So it can kind of keep us incapacitated because we see both sides and we want both sides. And then it's like we don't do anything because we don't know which one to choose. And so what I tell people when I'm talking about their charts and readings for Gemini energy, and I can because I have South Node Venus and Moon in Gemini, is as we accumulate more experience in our lives and as we move into deeper personal evolutions, we can actually have all of it. And as we get into high frequency to magnetize and create the life that we were meant to live, that includes all of it. But when we stay on this linear trajectory of control, resistance, and forcefulness, then we only see one or the other. That creates the deep duality. And remember that life is about duality, but it's also about transcendence of that duality and like a unity consciousness in that duality, allowing the contrast to take us into beautiful places instead of seeing the contrast as limitation, right? And so be aware that you might be having a lot of inspiration that actually can render you incapacitated. So let yourself use that Mars energy to move forward with what intuitively feels right. And let yourself know that you can have all of it, but it's important for us to allow the unfolding of it to happen. And as you direct yourself toward what feels in alignment, like aligned action right now, the rest of it will come along because messages will come in and possibilities come in as you take aligned action over taking action based out of, fear or scarcity. Okay, so I hope that helps, because we can Pisces is also, the moon in Pisces is conjuncting Neptune in Pisces, which is more dreamy energy. So you can feel really floaty right now. Like, of course, get done what you need to get done, but let yourself kind of marinate in these, I'm calling it these light waters. Let yourself be in the flow of the light that's continually like pouring onto the planet. And the more you're in flow, the more your cells are in, a receiving capacity. Okay, let's move into the card read. And I am just using my Soulful Spiritual Earth cards today because it just felt right with this Pisces energy. I see my energy cards as very direct. Oh, and we also have a beautiful aspect. The moon is trine. The sun is trine to Uranus in the North Node in Taurus, and the moon is sextile. So these are just really yummy aspects and transits that are happening right now. So allow yourself to get the inspiration of Uranus in the Taurus energy and then move forward with it. Like, it can feel a little less overwhelming because it's not coming in so hard. It's coming in like a soft way. It's like floating in. These Uranus epiphanies are floating in now instead of like knocking us off our rocker, right? Because that's usually what Uranus does. So I'm just going to do a quick 4-card reading here. And then, of course, I have the Clarifier, that card that came through. And, this card, Soul Loss, comes up so often in these huge transformational times that we're going through because we're evolving at lightning speed. Even though sometimes in our construct of time, it feels like the hijacking of our minds into immediate gratification culture, but moving through this kind of quantum ascension in one lifetime is really incredible. And so it takes us being in this witnessing and honoring of the death and rebirth. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So this is exactly where we are. Pisces is the death and rebirth. So we're allowing the parts of ourselves to die off that we've learned and that we've uncovered throughout the entire astrological zodiac wheel as we went through the shadow and light work through every single sign. Coming to Pisces is like, okay, what are you going to allow to die off to be in this rebirth where you're in your lightest body activation that you can be in with that Pisces energy? And the Pisces energy only continues to get more comfortable for us, even in the matrix, because the ripple effect is so big at this point, because y'all are doing your work. You all are doing the hard work to be in alignment and holding the light frequency and grid for the rest of the planet. And so it's just so much easier to tap into that. And this is where before Pisces could have often, and I can talk about this too because my Mars is in Pisces, Pisces often would turn to substance because it was just too hard to be in the matrix. There's so much pain. But now that we can feel and be in so much light, that is our birthright that we were meant to actually experience in this human form, Pisces energies are more welcome, right? They're not so like feared because we didn't know how, we had no reference for it before. And now with this ripple effect that y'all are doing, right? The butterfly effect, people have reference, their energy, their cells have reference because it's like this reflection and this remembrance when they feel it from you. So keep up the amazing light work. You are doing fantastic. This is how we move through this new earth, rebirth and revolution. So just keep, I almost want to say keep being excited about the death and rebirth. We no longer fear it. There's no longer this space for us to avoid it. We welcome it because we now know how good the rebirth feels, because our superpower is our vulnerability and our emotionality and that trauma transformation where we go from density in ourselves to lightness. So yes. And then what is the challenge? The challenge card is a medicine woman. This card does not come up very often. So what I'm getting here for the challenge is, and it's like, you see, there's just so much going on with her. And it's like you might be in this state of confusion, again, where I'm talking about, especially with the Mars and Gemini, where there's so many ideas and inspirations, it almost renders you incapacitated. Like there's so much medicine coming online and bursting out at this point. Like we are moving into new states of healing. We are going to be healing through light, through frequency, through energy, and through each other, right? We no longer have to go through a system to heal. And this is quantum, right? We can heal from acupuncture points of the world. We don't have to be in each other's space, like in each other's immediate environment, to create these beautiful places of portals of healing is what I'm getting, this portal of healing. So the challenge for you can be like, where do I even start? Who do I start with? Even with myself, like there's so much coming up in my innate medicine and what I want to share in the world. Where do I start? And so it's like, let that come up and let it be, and then come back into your heart, feel into what is aligned for you in these moments, and know that the rest comes out of that. It takes me back to the message that I shared before. The rest, it's like I'm getting this image of a mushroom, right? The rest like blooms out of that. So trust yourself, trust what feels aligned in your healing path, whether that's from your own innate medicine or from, choosing or, matching with someone else's innate medicine. Trust that that's going to blossom so much more from that. It's no longer a linear path in any choice, any aligned choice that you make. Yes. And then the action card, like they really want y'all to know this. Are you listening? Hello? Are you paying attention? The action card is death. And I love this card because it's such a beautiful thing for us to be in full witness and full acceptance and love of who we were, who we are becoming, and who we are at our core, right? And so I see this as like, you can see that the branches are entangled around this being, and it feels like the branches are letting go. And as you fully embrace the stories of your life, right? The experiences of your life, and know that they brought you to this gorgeous space, like all regret gets washed away. I just saw like a beautiful wave come through and wash any regret that you have, any remorse that you have away. Because you have built such a strong foundation on all of those experiences, and you get to have such a love, frequency, and capacity for everyone that contributed to those experiences, no matter how hard they were, right? And or are right now. Know that that as we allow the death and we honor the death, the rebirth is so much more quantum. And when I say quantum, it's like lightning speed. It happens in a nanosecond. It happens in an energy. It's not linear on time, but it opens in such a beautiful way. So, those wounds and triggers, if you're still having them from past experiences and past pieces of you, that you might not like to look back at, this might be a beautiful time in this retrograde energy to allow yourself to really marinate in them and find the beautiful. Again, I'm just getting this image of I'm seeing this like color, this landscape with a beautiful little purple, yellow flower just budding up. It's so delicate and soft and profound. Yes. And the outcome card. We love this outcome card. It's so interesting. I was just recently looking at Phoenix images. So we rise as the Phoenix and the light and the fire that we are. We no longer stay small. We no longer limit ourselves. You are capable of everything that your soul has been tapping on you for. Remember that. You just have to allow yourself to drop in to your innate truth and knowingness as you as you chip away, as you release all of that programming and limitation and belief systems and mindsets that have been coming on for generations, you will shine. You are shining. Your light is becoming more and more bright, and you have so much more to go. Remember that. How blessed are we to be in this time of true awakening, true light body activation and new earth awakening, that we will get to live in quantum leaps and jumps and vibrational healing. It's spirit blowing, and I'm so appreciative to be here with you. And the Clarifier card, oh, that's an interesting Clarifier card. It's darkness. I love this because there's a raven in this card that's just starting to fly. And so it's like from the darkness comes the greatest light, the greatest expansion, and also the resourcefulness, right? We don't have to force ourselves to know what to do. When we let go, it's like, oh, I'm seeing this, like through the darkness, we have this like release, right? And when we let go, all of the next steps magnetize to us. Remember that we're not out here looking for them. We're in here aligning for the magnetization of the life that we're creating, right? And so when you get into that beautiful space of like penetrating through the darkness, not even penetrating, like transforming through the darkness and like holding the darkness in your love, in your care for what it was and what it has done and what it has shown you and where it's taking you. That's when you get that, like you fly free and you get that higher vantage point and you move so much deeper into the higher dimensional realms, into the light connection, into the spirit and soul and into the integrated places where all is well, all is comes from that place of trust. So if you are moving through darkness now, or if you're still holding on to something that has been in your journey, this must be the message of this Pisces full moon is, I just got like hugging it and letting it go, like moving through it in this soft way, and not like distracting yourself from it or holding it at bay or ignoring it or bypassing it. It's like fully receiving it, receiving the blessings and the lessons in it, and flying into the light from there, where you find so much more possibility because of the resources you now have at your disposal and in your energy, from that vulnerable acceptance and emotional freedom that came with the embrace of the darkness. Okay, that feels like the message. Wow, this was a longer one, and I hope that it gave you so much encouragement, support, and guidance through this beautiful time that we're in right now. And if you want to go deeper on new and full moons with us, I do live ceremonies every new and full moon in the membership community, the Wild Heart ones. The link is below in the show notes. And make sure to check out my 90-second manifestation talk. I'm going to share it right here. It's either over here or over here. I'm going to share it. But it's really beautiful reminder of true magnetization and manifestation, which is the exploration of our emotional bodies in order to get into that high frequency, which feels like this was a big message in this talk. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, and I am so excited to keep doing this gorgeous, beautiful, like heart activating work with you. Let me know if you have questions, and until next time, don't forget to keep looking up.